I'm calling you next time I move. I don't need a truck. I have this guy. He is the truck.
Too easy.
I wasn't allowed to play this game as a kid because of the word devil. Nice. I love religion. Smiley face. I too am in the 1,000-pound club. Doctor says I need to lose weight real soon. I believe in you, Mikey. Here, like if you just cut it off, you could give it to him and he could lift it. Symbiotic relationship. You weren't allowed to watch Harry Potter? They were just trying to save you from getting canceled on Twitter like 20 years in the future. Honestly, I'd thank them for that one. Later, Blackout. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Nice. TTV. Disagree with your parents. Go behind their backs and buy video games that they don't want you to buy. My mom told me I couldn't play M-rated video games when I was at her house, but I played them all the time at my dad's. So I just played them at her house anyways. And she'd come in sometimes and be like, what the heck? You're not supposed to be playing this. And I was like, oh. And then she'd turn away and I'd keep playing. She gave up pretty fast. It's funny though, because I play those same games as a job now. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I'm not allowed to do this? That's wild. And I just kept doing it. Ironically, DMC is pretty uplifting when you see the story. Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same fucking thing as like Doom Eternal, right? Like, Doom is not only not satanic, but probably the least satanic game that ever existed. The game is literally about killing as many demons as possible. You're basically Jesus in the rapture. You're basically an exorcist. Yeah, you're essentially a priest. Jesus, take the BFG. Take it from my hands. I mean, every time you shoot the BFG in Doom, you have to pray the game doesn't crash, so. What's up, Double Broke? Shadow Man? I haven't even heard of that. That's only an Eternal. The inferior game, obviously. Well, in 2016, you shoot the BFG and pray you get more BFG ammo. Oh, I don't think yeah, my bot's not running or something, I don't know. Why is it called Doom Eternal when the game has an ending? Because the game's ending loops back around to Doom 2016. When is Speedrun Left 4 Dead? After Devil May Cry and TimeSplitters. So in like 2 hours. The gap. Coming in clutch. Honestly, I'm not a huge Doom lore guy, but I did recently record every single cutscene at 1440p at 60 FPS and like with ray tracing on and all the highest settings and shit. And so I have recently watched all the cutscenes. Not saying I understand what happens at all, but what's up, Solid Snake? Thanks for the good luck. But it is pretty fucking cool. I will say that Tag 2, while not being the best DLC, has some pretty fucking banger cutscenes. Doom Guy literally rides a dragon through the sky and then meets up with a bunch of other Doom Slayers and they start like a Doom war. That shit is sick. Like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Or driven by an oversized marauder. Yeah, I had to play that boss fight to get to that cutscene, and honestly, not great. Makes me think that Doom Eternal would almost be better. Nice fight, by the way. If it just didn't have boss fights. Honestly, the Dave Grohl fight is not bad. I don't think it's amazing, but it's not bad either. Like, they should have just put like a master level at the end of the game or something. Just like a really, really difficult level. Just put like a fuck ton of... Or like, give us the Halo Reach ending we all deserve, you know? Where you just have endless fight until you die and then the cutscene plays. Obviously Doomslayer won't die because that wouldn't make any sense, but you know. Like just spawn like 6 heavies a second until the game either crashes or Doom Guy dies. I mean, there's like a couple of boss fights in Doom Eternal. 2, I guess. And only one of them is okay. Just game till you die. Yeah, that's the Halo Reach ending, right? Like, just endless waves of enemies spawn until you die. Gladiator's okay. Nothing special. What a perfect way to end Reach, by the way. That game is like not that great, in my opinion. Mostly just because of all of the fucking vehicle sections. Like, I swear to God, half the game of Halo Reach is in a vehicle. And not that great, but the ending was cool. Well, you do like 3 space levels, and then there's a couple levels where you spend the whole time in a tank, and then there's like a lot of driving around, and there's the Hornet level, Where you're flying the Hornet all the time. Bro, honestly, I completely forget the 90% normal orb route. Actually, I have 2 holy waters already, so I think this level was fine. I didn't need to buy here. And that purple I was supposed to buy on mission 8, I think. Yeah, playing the credits is like a really good game trope that's not done enough, honestly. It's amazing in DMC3, it's amazing in Nier Automata. Didn't Bayonetta also do it? We don't talk about Kamiya games here. 4 big guys, and they busted my eye. Kamiya had nothing to do with DMC1. Actually, it's Pseudo made DMC1, smiley face. I'm just kidding. I'm just not a huge fan of Kamiya's games, really. Except for this one, obviously. I don't think they're very good. We made DMC2. Oh, how I wish that was real. That would be so funny. What's up, Baro? Howdy. Did you know? Whoa, that's crazy. I had no idea. I'm great. Thanks for asking. No way. Resident Silent Dead Space 4? No shot. What's up, Bamu? Bamu! Just you wait, we got a TimeSplitters level just for you. Are you gonna try Wanted Dev? It's from the devs of Ninja Gaiden. Oh, so it's gonna be fucking terrible? No thanks. Dude, the only thing I would ever try from the developers of Ninja Gaiden is a suicide booth. Cause that they can probably get right. Out here like it's Futurama or some shit. I did play through a couple of those when the HD collection came out, and they were fucking terrible. They were awful. Ninja Gaiden 2 wasn't that bad, but Ninja Gaiden 1 was fucking awful. Probably the least fun game I've ever played in my life besides RE7. That's just like my opinion, man. Face, stylish, and beautiful. Just refuse to elaborate any further than that, honestly. Dude, this dude got so upset with me on stream like 2 weeks ago because I said that DMC5 was bad and I wouldn't elaborate on why. Like, he was so angry. It's like, you can't just say it's bad. Like, why is it bad? I was like, it's just bad, dude. Game's bad. Dude got unreasonably upset. I just kept saying that it was bad and would not elaborate. It was fucking hilarious. It's like, but why? It's just bad, dude. Like, game sucks. You can't just say that. I was like, I don't really want to elaborate right now. I talk about this all the time. It's like, no, you must explain to me why you think it's bad. Like, it just is. I'm like, I don't like it. Entitled much? I know, right? I mean, there are many reasons to love and hate DMC5. I just think it's bad. This is always really fun. Like, the more angry he got upset, the less I wanted to explain myself. Like, I'm definitely not explaining it now. But this is hilarious. Well, that's just most people that play video games in general. They'll never play one thing one time on the default difficulty and never touch it again. Which is why games are made the way they are nowadays. Which is why I don't like most new games. So I just play old games. But I love Castillo Protocol. Bro, I knew that shit was gonna be garbage and I didn't even buy it. I watched Susie's review and she was like, it's like 3 hours of cutscenes and 5 hours of gameplay and the gameplay feels like a cutscene, and I was like, oh, looks like I'm never buying that. Like, thanks for saving me my money, Susie. It felt like she was speaking to me directly when she said that, honestly. Some GS4, I wouldn't know. I've never played a Metal Gear game. Mostly because I just refuse to like Kojima. So I'll never play any of his games. Just in case I accidentally like the game. The Metal Gear Rising then? I will someday. Dang it. I couldn't afford Vortex 2 because I A ranked that mission because I got hit by the fucking ass clowns. Nano machines, son. Memes, Jack. Resident Evil is a game. Well, slow down there with the hot takes, Notorious. Jesus Christ. You want to send the chat into a fucking uproar? That was bad. DNA of the soul. Perfect. I still got it, baby. I still got it. Dizzy strats. Get fucked, bird. Bird up. RE Revelations is the best RE. Honestly, it might be the worst, actually. I've never played it, but from what I've seen, it looks like Metroid Prime, but without the gameplay. It's just the Metroid Prime scanning game with one enemy type for the whole game. What's worse is that RE Revelations is your introduction into Resident Evil on the Nintendo DS. Unfortunate. Dedge. Deathloop seemed like it was gonna be cool. I didn't keep up with it after it released though, so I have no idea what happened. Pretty sure my first RE game was 0, and you played another one? Damn. First RE game was 3, non-remaster. Well, they never remastered 3, so that's cool. But, yeah. I'm sorry. I hope you never tried to use the dodge mechanic because it just straight up doesn't work in that game, but... My first RE was 4. The only good one, besides the remake, based. That's when I realized Resident Evil was in fact a video. I know, crazy. Me too. Goddamn right it is, Balmu. I would even dare to say that Resident Evil 4 is one of the games of all time. Okay, real hot take this time. RE4 should have been longer. Nah, it's already too long. Go to Island. All in favor of getting rid of the island and remake, say aye. Aye. Holy shit. Yo, Clegane with the 10,000 biddies. What the actual fuck? First time chat. Doesn't say anything, just drops 10,000 biddies, refuses to elaborate. What in the goddamn? What in the goddamn? Yo, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. Based. Cold. Cold as ice. Who the fuck is Clegane? It's Clegane. Dork by. Ah, shit. There goes the oiler. I blew it. Thanks, Clegane. Appreciate it. Well, I plan on speedrunning all the TimeSplitters games. I'm just starting with Future Perfect because it's my favorite. But I'll go and do TimeSplitters 2 and TimeSplitters 1 as well. TimeSplitters 1 is literally a 5-minute speedrun, so shouldn't be that hard to learn. It'll probably literally take me longer to set up than to run. Because I gotta figure out mouse and keyboard mod for all that shit. That's because TimeSplitters 1 is basically only a multiplayer game. Kind of like TimeSplitters 2, where it's like primarily multiplayer. It doesn't really have much of a campaign, but TimeSplitters 2 definitely has more of a campaign than TimeSplitters 1. Like the entire campaign speedrun is only 5 minutes long. Yeah, I mean, Future Perfect is a banger. It just takes everything that's good about the other games and just improves upon it, really. Oh, TimeSplitters Rewind? They're working on it. It's basically just Future Perfect is basically just TimeSplitters, but with like enough budget and time put into it to make a legitimately good game that came out in 2005. So. That isn't just entirely focused on multiplayer. No, they literally just made an update for the TimeSplitters project or whatever. Like they just posted a new video, but it doesn't seem like they made that much progress from the last one. Get fucked, Nightmare. Eat my cock. Goofy Nightmare. Exactly. What's up, Bandit? Did you get a sick PB recently? Or is that someone else? What am I doing? It's not DMD. They can actually use Ifrit in this category? No. Holy waters. Yeah, you did? Now you're taking time off DMC3? Nice, dude. GG. You got like a 113 or something, right? Yeah. Do you know what that is roughly compared to like PC timing? Because you're on console, right? It's like much better time than it would be on PC because of that, I'm pretty sure. What are you gonna do in your stead of DMC3? Think it's better than Raj's time on the PC board? Okay, for sure. That's what's up. You know, in theory, it probably wouldn't be very hard to like just make all of the categories be the same for DMC3 and just like manually remove loads for console. Because the load should be the same length every time, right? Because they're exactly the same length on everyone's PC on PC, right? So like, I would imagine all of the consoles would have their own times that are exactly the same length every time. Like, I'm sure whatever console you're playing on has almost exactly the same amount of loads every time. Unless it only is a rule that applies to PC because we hit the bottom limit of how fast the loads can go. But that, I would imagine that would be the case for like the newer consoles as well. Go back to Spider-Man Miles Morales, and today I soft locked the game because it's not as great as the PS5. Nice. Hell yeah. That's funny. Based. Type user not found. Is there a category for consoles in RE4? Yeah, there is. This is a different leaderboard. So like you could never do that in a game like RE4 because there are too many load screens and the variation is too big. Because like inventory loads, for example. But like DMC3 always will have the same amount of loads every run. At least if you do or don't do Gigazip. Because you always open the same amount of doors and the load screens are always the same length. I don't know why I didn't vortex, but I did. Is RE4 VR coming back? I'm too lazy. It's too much work. It's such a pain in the ass to actually play. Like, it's fun, but I can't see chat while I'm streaming it, so it's like not that fun to stream, honestly. If we don't count PS2 and PS3 DMC3 versions, and I don't say why we can't merge console and PC boards, well, you'd have to like retime loads, right? It would require a significant amount of testing before you could actually do it, but like, you know, it's possible. It just is really dumb that there's like a category for every leaderboard, for every console. For every category, it like just inflates the amount of categories by such an insane margin because there's like 10 consoles that have DMC3 on them and there's 6 difficulties for 2 characters. So like that's 60 categories just based on consoles alone, and then multiply that 60 by fucking 2 characters and 6 difficulties. Did I even use my headset anymore? Not really. I mean, I used it a lot back then because I was in a long distance relationship and stuff, but I don't really use VR much anymore. It's cool. I like VR. Is there an RE4 leaderboard with like the 250 different consoles on it? Yeah. That's why it has its own leaderboard. It's also not counting super costumes. Well, you just aren't allowed to use super costumes unless it's New Game Plus. This is just a different category. How long did it take to get loader moving for DMC1 console runs? Not very long. But there aren't that many consoles that it's on. And we know for sure the loads are the same on the consoles. We tested it. You'd have to ask Slickford, he would know. He did it. Slickford's the one that did it for DMC1. Like, I mean, we had the idea and shit, but Slickford actually did the implementation and retimed all the runs. Which, there weren't that many runs, but there were a couple. It certainly should be doable. It's just a matter of, like, if there's actually a reason to do it. Oh, I'm trolling, dude. Like, does any run DMC3 on console? You? That's it. Oh, I'm supposed to holy water. I'm actually trolling. I shouldn't be talking during Nightmare. Yeah, I will. Local VIP. Video need. I like your name. Like, who actually runs console DMC3? There's you and Luigi, right? Do you guys want it to be on the same board? Like, I don't know. Like, you seem down for it, but I don't know. I'm not a moderator of that game or any game, so I don't know how, like, if there are a lot of submitted runs for console. I know that every now and then I see like some random like New Game Plus or like New Game Easy console world record go up on the leaderboard somewhere. And like obviously all of those runs would have to be retimed, so it just depends. Like, so really what, if you like wanted to do that, what I would suggest is you can go through and retime, like remove loads manually for like a couple of different runs on the same console and see if the loads are the same. If they're the same, then that console for sure has the same loads every time. You know, ideally across multiple different runners with like completely different consoles, you know? Like 3 different runners who all did runs on Xbox Series X, for example. If all 3 of them end up with the same amount of loads, then you can just take that amount of loads, and then every time there's a Series X run, you just subtract that amount of time from the run, and that's your loadless time. This is an example, you know? But you'd have to do it for every single version of the game, and there's a lot of versions of the game, right? And that's under the assumption that the loads are the same. Because the loads are the same on PC, but that's not necessarily the case with consoles, you know? Like the Switch might have variable loads. Like it might be random. It's possible. Should have Holy Waters, not Devil Stars. I don't know why about Devil Stars. We played on the Switch though. I mean, people do. I was supposed to start with that. Also freestyle mode, but obviously that would be its own category anyways, because Switch. But I was too lazy to set up the macro. I'm curious to see what Lugi's time would be if it was on PC. Yeah, so I'm excited for RE4 remake. I don't know why I'm playing this so safe. I got my strats mixed up because I've ran so many categories in this game. I don't have any untouchables. I forgot to pick them up. I swear to God I picked the one up on oh yeah, you don't use untouchables, it's normal. See, this is why like, I'm confused. I swear to God I picked the one up on 13 though, or 12. Maybe like a 106 loadless? I can see that. But I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like that would, you know, it would definitely clean up the boards. It would still be fair and competitive, right? I didn't buy Holy Waters. And it would maybe give console runners more motivation to run more. Because you could see the time save easier, right? Actually, I don't need to buy Holy Waters, I have to. What's up, Yang? Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. This run was terrible. I've been like forgetting strats all over the place and stuff. Still gonna be like a 44 though. What's up, Zerks? How you doing, dude? But yeah, if you're serious about it, man, what I would suggest maybe is ask Slickford in DMs or something about it, about like how he went about doing that, and then maybe do some of the testing yourself beforehand, and then once you have some results from the testing, like present it to SEMO and be like, can we do this? I'm pretty sure SEMO would be on board with it as long as the timing is easy. Like as long as he's not having to manually retime every single run. Because I'm pretty sure SEMO really dislikes the whole idea of like 17,000 meme world records.
It looks like we have a winner.
Jack. We're talking about potentially like merging the console and PC boards for DMC3 by like manually removing loads or something, like they do in DMC1. Because we were talking about how there's like a bajillion categories for DMC3 because there's like 6 consoles that have the game, and yeah. Well, basically my take on it was like, as long as the loads are consistent across that console, then you could just figure out how many loads are on that console and then just remove that amount of time, and you don't have to manually retime every run, which makes it really easy. That's what they do for this game. Like they know that PS5 has this amount of loads. They know that Switch has this amount of loads, and those loads are always consistent. So you could just take a Switch run and then subtract like 1 minute 25 seconds, and then boom, like that's the loadless time, because it'll always be the same. Also, nice IGT, 40 flat.